Welcome to Insidious Inc. Tonight, we're diving into a story that's not just creepy, it's terrifying, because it's real. Imagine thinking you're safe in your own home, only to realize someone's been watching you, following you, and even waiting. It all started small, the kind of things you'd dismiss at first. A strange feeling, that creeping sensation of being watched when walking home at night. The way the hair on the back of her neck stood on end whenever she passed a dark alleyway or an empty parking lot. At first, she told herself it was nothing, just paranoia, a trick of the mind. But the feeling lingered. That sense of unseen eyes. The instinctive chill that made her quicken her pace, stealing glances over her shoulder, only to find empty streets. Silence. Then the messages started. At first they were harmless, just anonymous compliments on her social media. "You have such a pretty smile. That dress looks nice on you today." People left random comments online all the time, so she felt maybe it was just some bored stranger. But then they kept coming every day. Different accounts, but the same tone. And then something changed. The messages become personal. The comments weren't just generic anymore, they become specific. Too specific. "That blue sweater really suits you." Her stomach dropped. She had worn a blue sweater that day, but she hadn't posted about it, hadn't taken a picture. "I saw you at the cafe today. That caramel latte looked delicious." Her hands tightened around her phone. She scrolled through her posts, scanning her captions, checking her stories. She'd never mentioned her favorite cafe, never posted about her daily routine, so how did they know? Her fingers stiffened as she tapped the screen, heart pounding in her ears. She went through her followers. Most were friends, acquaintances, a few strangers who had followed her over time, but no one stood out. It had to be a coincidence, right? Then the next message came. "You shouldn't walk alone so late. Someone might follow you." Her breath hitched. Her room suddenly felt too quiet. The walls seemed to press in around her. This wasn't random anymore. That night she locked her account, blocked every suspicious user, told herself it was over, but deep down, she knew it wasn't. As she was settling into bed, her phone buzzed. No username, no profile picture, just a message. "Blocking me won't help. I see you." Her stomach lurched. Her hands began trembling. She stared at the screen, then her gaze drifted toward the window. The curtains were shut, but suddenly, it didn't feel like enough. Her heart pounded as she crept closer and slowly lifted the fabric, but outside, there was nothing. Yet she knew someone was out there, watching. The nightmare escalates. The phone calls started, always from a private number. At first she ignored them, but one night she answered. Silence. No voice, no words, just slow, heavy breathing into the receiver. Her stomach twisted. "Hello?" she whispered. The breathing stopped. Then click. The call ended. Her hands clenched around the phone. Maybe it was the wrong number. Maybe some creep just wanted to mess with her. But then, the phone rang again. She froze. The same private number, the same creeping fear curling in her stomach. This time, she didn't answer. But a notification popped up. A message. "Why'd you hang up? I just wanted to hear your voice." Her chest tightened. This wasn't random. This wasn't just online. Someone was out there, and they were getting closer. Escalation. The stalker is inside. She started noticing small things out of place in her apartment. An open window, a moved mug, a crumpled jacket. Then one night, she found photos on her phone. The first was of her, taken from outside her window. The next was that of her sleeping, from a low angle. Her stomach dropped. She lived on the 3rd floor. The final image was her apartment door from the inside. Someone had been there, inside, while she slept. The revelation. She contacted the police as fast as she could. They arrived fast, swept the apartment, but nothing was found. No forced entry, no prints. But then, the security footage shows a figure, tall, gaunt, standing outside her door for hours. Then at 3 a.m, he moved. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a key, and let himself in. But the worst part? He never left. Officers searched every inch of the apartment. Then one of them pulled down the attic hatch. Dust fell and the ladder creaked as they climbed. Inside, they found a makeshift bed, empty food wrappers, and her missing clothes. But the most chilling discovery was a notebook filled with her name written over and over. He had been living there for weeks. The aftermath. Emily never went back to that apartment. She packed what little she could in a single night and left, breaking her lease, abandoning everything else. It wasn't worth it. Not after knowing he had been there the whole time. She moved across the city into a new building with security cameras, gated access, and deadbolts on every door, but the damage had already been done. No matter how many locks she changed, how many alarms she set, she never felt safe again. Living in fear. Sleep never came easy after that. She woke up in cold sweats, heart pounding at every creak of the floorboards. Some nights, she swore someone was standing at the foot of her bed. But when she turned on the lights, nothing. Still, she knew. He was out there, watching. 3 months later, her phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Her stomach dropped as she hesitated, but curiosity won. She opened it. 2 words sent a chill through her spine. Found you. Her fingers went numb. It wasn't over. She changed her number again. She deleted all social media. She stopped going out alone. Stopped staying out past dark. But it didn't matter. The messages kept coming from different numbers, different accounts. She never responded, but he didn't stop. And then, the photos started again. The first was harmless, a blurry street view, nothing distinct. The second was closer to her building. Then came the third. Her apartment door, taken from inside the building. She felt sick. How? She had moved. She had taken every precaution, but he had found her. And this time, he wasn't just watching. He was coming. The night everything changed. She went to the police again, but there were no leads, no fingerprints, just shadows. Then one night, it escalated. She was home alone with the TV on, but she wasn't watching. A noise rustled inside the apartment. She froze as every hair on her body stood on end. The sound came from the bathroom, where the door was slightly open, revealing a crack of darkness beyond. Her heart pounded as she dialed 911. "Ma'am, are you alone?" She couldn't answer. Gripping a lamp, she inched forward as the door creaked open. There was nothing but her reflection. She exhaled in relief until she saw it. The shower curtain was pulled shut, but she never closed it. Her pulse thundered as she swallowed hard, raised a shaking hand, and yanked it open. The final confrontation. The bathroom was empty. For a second, she almost laughed, brushing it off as paranoia. Then, cold metal pressed against her throat. A whisper followed. "Took you long enough." She screamed. Instinct took over as she thrashed out and swung the lamp, striking something solid. A grunt. A stumble. She didn't wait. She bolted out the door, screaming for help. The neighbors arrived first, then the police. They searched the apartment. But he was gone. Again. But this time, he left something behind. On the bathroom counter, perfectly placed where she could see it, sat a Polaroid. It was a picture of her, taken just minutes before. She stood in front of the mirror, unaware, and behind her, a figure in the shower. He had been there the entire time. The true horror? He was never caught. The police searched, investigated, but he disappeared. No name, no address, no history, just like a ghost. A shadow that slipped through cracks into darkness and vanished. But Emily knew better. He was still out there, somewhere, and some nights her phone still buzzes with an unknown number. See you soon. Some stalkers leave messages, some leave warnings, but the scariest ones, you never see them coming. What would you do if you found a photo of yourself taken while you were asleep? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because you never know what's lurking in the dark.